Look around you. Chances are there's a plant nearby. A potted fern, a towering tree outside your window, perhaps just a blade of grass pushing through a crack in the pavement. We often dismiss them, don't we? As beautiful, yes, essential for our survival, absolutely, but largely passive. Rooted, silent, unthinking. They're just there. But what if we've been profoundly wrong? What if those silent sentinels, those green factories of life, possessed a form of intelligence we're only just beginning to comprehend? What if they could think, communicate, remember, and even learn, in ways entirely alien to our fast-paced, brain-centric understanding of consciousness? Imagine a vast network beneath the forest floor, a subterranean internet of fungal threads connecting trees, sharing nutrients, sending alarm signals about pests, even passing on information to saplings from ancient elders. This isn't science fiction. It's the wood wide web, a phenomenon ecologists are actively studying. Plants emit complex chemical signals, release volatile organic compounds to warn neighbors, and even use electrical impulses remarkably similar to our own nerve signals. They respond to music. They bend towards intention. They even seem to remember droughts and adjust their future growth accordingly. If these astonishing capabilities exist right here on Earth, in organisms we've always considered inert, what does that tell us about the universe beyond? This radical shift in perspective, viewing plants not just as passive resources, but as potential forms of subtle, perhaps even profound, intelligence, throws open a cosmic door. For decades, when we've searched for alien life, we've largely looked for reflections of ourselves. Organisms that move, eat, reproduce, and think with brains, much like animals. We search for biosignatures indicative of microbial life, or technosignatures from advanced civilizations, building radio telescopes and star-spanning empires. But what if the dominant form of intelligence on countless worlds isn't animalistic, isn't mobile, isn't built on carbon-based brains that process information in milliseconds? What if it's botanical? What if the universe is teeming with thinking plants? Vast, slow, patient minds that perceive reality on timescales and through senses we can barely begin to fathom. Today, we're going to venture into that cosmic garden to explore the profound implications of a universe where plants don't just exist, but think asterisk. Our human-centric bias has long colored our search for extraterrestrial intelligence. We define thought and consciousness by our own experiences. Rapid information processing, self-awareness, problem-solving, the ability to manipulate tools. But if we consider the emergent properties of Earth's flora, the mycelial networks that share resources and information across entire forests, the chemical alarms that spread through a plant community like wildfire, the intricate timing of flowering and fruiting cycles synchronized across vast landscapes, we begin to see a different kind of thinking. It's slow, decentralized, collective, and rooted deeply in its environment. It's not about individual neurons firing, but about a distributed, ecosystem-level intelligence, a persistent awareness of its world. If this is true for a dandelion or an oak tree, what might alien flora be capable of? Imagine a planet orbiting a red dwarf star, bathed in a perpetual twilight. The dominant life forms are not animals, but gigantic, bioluminescent sun sails. These aren't just passive light collectors. They are living structures, perhaps kilometers wide, anchored into the crust. Their immense surface areas are not just for photosynthesis, but also for communication. They pulse with intricate light patterns, a slow, mesmerizing dance of colors and intensities. These patterns, imperceptible to our fleeting human perception, might be complex data exchanges, historical records of solar flares, warnings of tectonic shifts, or even abstract mathematical concepts, slowly unfurling across their vast living canvases. Their thoughts aren't fleeting impulses but eons-long computations, their memories etched into crystalline structures within their root systems, passed down through generations not by DNA alone, but by a physical, chemical, and energetic inheritance. Consider a gas giant with massive floating islands of living material, buoyed by hydrogen, much like Earth's Sargasso Sea, but on a planetary scale. These islands, composed of incredibly resilient, aerially buoyant botanical organisms, might drift through the upper atmosphere. They could be linked by tendrils extending for hundreds of kilometers, forming a planetary-scale neural network suspended in the sky. Their thought might manifest as the collective adjustment of buoyancy, steering these vast living continents to harvest specific atmospheric gases or to align themselves with gravitational anomalies to optimize reproduction. Their communication could be through subtle shifts in atmospheric composition, intentional releases of specific compounds that carry information like a living, planetary-scale pheromone system. To us, it would appear as weather patterns, but perhaps it's a living planetary mind, experiencing the universe through atmospheric currents and ionic winds, its consciousness diffused across the entire world-girdling botanical mat. If we were to search for such botanical intelligences, our current methods might fall short. We're looking for atmospheric biosignatures like oxygen, methane, and ozone gases that indicate the presence of life. But what if thinking plants engineered their atmospheres to hide their presence, to create optimal conditions for their slow growth, or to amplify their unique forms of communication? Imagine a planet where the dominant flora, instead of releasing free oxygen, consumed it, creating an atmosphere rich in nitrogen and noble gases, perfect for their unique electrochemical signaling across vast geological distances. Or perhaps they intentionally produce technosignatures that we would never classify as such. Highly structured, non-random magnetic field fluctuations generated by planet-spanning root systems, or specific gravitational anomalies caused by the precise, intentional sculpting of their planet's crust over billions of years, creating subterranean, thought forms of immense mass. The idea of a Dyson sphere, a megastructure built around a star to harness its energy, is a classic concept for detecting advanced alien civilizations. But what if there were Dyson Flora entire planets covered in colossal, engineered botanical structures designed to optimize light capture, or to project specific energy signatures into space as a form of communication? These wouldn't be metal structures, but living, photosynthesizing entities, growing and evolving with intentional design. A world encased in a living, fractal botanical array, humming with the energy of its star, might appear as nothing more than an unusually green planet to our telescopes. Its thought entirely beyond our observational capacity, its intelligence radiating outward in subtle botanical messages we are not equipped to receive. Encountering such a botanical intelligence would be the ultimate challenge to our anthropocentric worldview. How would we communicate? There would be no bipedal ambassadors, no intricate spoken languages, no advanced technological interfaces as we understand them. We might be dealing with an entity that experiences a day as a geological epoch, whose sentences take millennia to form, whose memories are carved into the very landscape of its planet. Our fast-paced, verbal exchanges would be like static to them. We might need to learn to communicate through patience, through geological-scale art, through environmental modification, or by simply observing for generations, deciphering the slow, deliberate pulse of a planetary mind. The ethical implications are equally profound. If an entire world is a single, thinking botanical entity, what gives us the right to exploit its resources, to land our ships on its surface, to analyze its atmospheric composition? Would harvesting its biomass be akin to vivisection? The very concept demands a radical reevaluation of what constitutes personhood, intelligence, and a right to existence. It would force us to confront our own biases, to recognize that intelligence is not a singular path leading to human-like consciousness, but a boundless spectrum of possibilities, blooming in unimaginable forms across the cosmos. Perhaps the quiet, patient intelligence of the cosmos is not found in bustling cities of metal and light, but in the slow, deliberate growth of a cosmic forest, in the silent, profound wisdom of thinking flora. From the rustling leaves outside your window to the vast, bioluminescent forests of a distant exoplanet, the universe might be teeming with forms of intelligence so fundamentally different from our own that we have yet to even conceive of how to look for them. What if the most profound minds in the galaxy are not speaking through radio waves, but through the patient, silent growth of star-spanning roots Their consciousness diffused across an entire world, waiting for us to finally learn how to listen.